first grade, we are almost done. Yes, these stories are going to be so awesome. You know what? I think I'm going to have my class read them to the whole class on Zoom because I know you guys, you're just doing such fabulous work. All right, and you've worked so hard on them. I love these stories. You guys are doing a great job. Okay, so today, remember last time we looked at the words and we talked about the setting and the characters and then all those fun things that you can do with writing, like the all caps and the ellipses. So today, now we're looking at the nitty gritty. You know what? And I have a confession. Mrs. Stremke used to be an editor when I was in high school in our newspaper for school. So I like to really nitpick. And sometimes when I'm reading books, I find mistakes. And you know what? I have a book we're going to read next week. I think next week. Yes. That my copy of the book has a mistake in it. So remind me when we read a book called The Other Side, and I will show you the mistake like this in that book. So keep your eyes peeled because you might find a mistake in one of your books too. But we don't want our beautiful, beautiful narratives to have those mistakes. So that's why we're going to go through this. All right. One of the things we look at is, actually, let's just go through this chart. That sounds better, doesn't it? Sometimes kids copy words and they might put the same word 2 times just because your brain's thinking really fast, and or maybe you went back and reread the sentence and you thought it didn't make sense. So I've got one of these up here. Read this sentence with me. I was one summer vacation. Now that sentence, I might change that a little bit because it reads kind of funny to me, so I might change it up. But we don't want the word I was one summer vacation. I copied a word. So if you look on your little chart here, it's got that little loopty thing right there. And I'm gonna loop that word because I don't want 2 of them. You know what? Sometimes when big writers are writing big long books, they might put a big loop through a whole entire sentence because they don't want that sentence in there anymore, or maybe it's in the wrong place. All right, now let's look at this next one. My word, I wrote finally, but it's got a mistake. Does anybody see the mistake in there? And if you've got your chart with you, you might be able to figure it out. This is when you need to add a letter or maybe a word. Maybe you forgot a whole entire word and you need to add it in. That's okay. So we do what I call this the caret. So I'm going to stick a little caret under here, and I'm going to add that L because finally has a bonus letter. We've talked about those before. So finally has 2 L's. So if you're reading through your paper and you realize you forgot a letter or a whole word, maybe you forgot a whole word, stick that little caret in there and add it on the bottom. And remember, I'm using a different color. You don't have to use a red marker. You can use a pen or maybe a colored pencil. All right, so we check off. We know how to add a letter or word. Uh-oh, look at number 3. I see a mistake, and this is a mistake that I see kids make all the time. It's just because you're not used to putting those spaces in between your words. I didn't have a parent. I need a space in there, didn't I? I forgot my space. So if you forgot your space, or maybe you kind of crammed some words, see I kind of crammed those in, so maybe I need to leave a better space there. Yes, for you all, it is a hashtag. For my age group, we call this a pound sign. I know the new, I'm going to be cool and call it a hashtag. So that's when you need to add a space. And on this one, they put a line and the hashtag. So now we know how to use the hashtag or pound sign if you've got a parent my age sitting there. All right, now sometimes, I'm not going to do all of them on this because there's a lot, and this goes all the way up through high school. So even our high school, look, it says Carthage R9 editing marks. That means you're going to be using this sheet for the next 12 years. Oh my gosh. So you'll get really good at it. Sometimes kids flip-flop words, And I put the word like, but do you see a problem with like? That silent E goes at the end, doesn't it? Now this one's pretty cool to make. And you kind of just squiggle. That one's fun. You might get some sketch paper, some extra paper laying around, and just practice doing that one to switch your letters, because it's a pretty cool symbol. It's called transpose. And let's see, if you put in a comma or a period, maybe somebody forgot a comma or a period, you use this little caret thing right here for a comma or a period also. What? Look at the next one, number 5. But ... I still don't. Do you see a problem with I? Oh my goodness, I forgot to capitalize it. But don't worry, we have a mark for that right down here. You see those 3 lines? 1, 2, 3. Can't miss it because it's pretty big. 1, 2, 3. And that will tell me when I rewrite my story on my last paper, my final draft, don't forget to capitalize your I. Oh my goodness. Look, it's the same part of my story. I just changed my mistake. But ... I still don't. What is missing? Or I just gave you a hint. What's wrong with that part of my sentence? I left something out, didn't I? Do you remember what we use to fix it? Look, I can do the caret the other way and put in an apostrophe. Yes, I know some of you call that macaroni in the sky. That's okay too. But apostrophe is the right word. All right, and let's go over one more of these symbols. Man, you guys are learning lots of these. All right, I know a lot of kids spell it like this, places. They know that silent E makes that A say its name, but it's not the S. What else says a soft C? So I used the wrong letter. When I'm writing really fast, sometimes I don't have time to check my spelling. If I'm typing on the computer, it checks my spelling for me, so that's pretty nice. It kind of makes me lazy sometimes, but that's okay. So if you have a word that you think, I don't think I spelled that right, you can put a circle and then write a SP for spelling up above it. And then later you can go and you can ask a grown-up, hey, did I spell places right? Or maybe you can open your computer and you can type it in there and it'll put that red line underneath there. Oh, you didn't spell it right. So then I might try it another way and see if I can spell it the right way. Okay. So we went over, oh my goodness, we went over a lot, didn't we? Look at those. We did 7 of these marks. So we've got our deleting a word. If you make 2 words 2 times and you don't want those in there. We've got our little caret to add a letter. We added the L in finally, or maybe left out a word. You could also do that. Space, that's going to be important. I know some of you are going to have that hashtag on there in between words that you put too close together. Transpose. And I know it's a tricky one, so practice. It's kind of fun once you get used to doing it. All right, the apostrophe, you do the caret this way, not this way. And then you stick that macaroni in the sky right there in your apostrophe. Oh, and the capital. 1, 2, 3. Got it? I, if you're writing the word I, which these are stories about you, so you probably wrote the word I a couple times. Make sure they're all capital. If not, put 1, 2, 3 underneath them. And spelling. If there's a tricky word you need some help with, just put a circle around it, write SP, and then go ask a grown-up. All right, first grade. Let me see. I don't need to see this one today because we all have the exact same paper. But make sure you did all your editing the right way. Please get very close and take your picture. Guess what? Tomorrow we get to finish these. I can't wait. I'm so excited. All right, first grade, get to it.